So, can you? Well, if you looked at the thumbnail and said, erabu, hakobu, asobu, then you would be correct. But if you said, erabu, hakobu, and asobu, then that would be incorrect. But what's the difference between these two? Well, that's what we're about to learn. When learning a foreign language like Japanese, it's easy to pick up on and imitate the pronunciation and pitch accent patterns of words that sound like words in your own native language. For example, if you're a native English speaker, then it's probably pretty easy for you to pick up on and thus imitate the accents in the middle of these two words. To choose, erabu, and to eat, taberu. Because again, they both have accents in the middle. And there are many English words like this, such as banana and computer. Banana, erabu, computer, taberu. Now, these aren't the exact same accent patterns because English is a stress accent language while Japanese is a pitch accent language. But the point here is that, again, if you're a native English speaker, you can probably tell that these two words, erabu and taberu, have some kind of accent in the middle of them, even if you're not listening very carefully or really concentrating. That said, because native English speakers are used to hearing accents, as we've just seen, it means that we often think an accent is occurring. We often think we're hearing an accent, even when it's not occurring. That is to say, because native English speakers can pick up on the low, high, low pattern in to choose, erabu, erabu, we often unconsciously assume that other words that kind of look like this one, we assume they're pronounced the same way. We hear erabu, low, high, low, in to choose, and then we come across a word like this, to carry, or a word like this, to play, and sort of unconsciously think, okay, another 3-syllable or beat verb that ends with b, probably pronounced with the same accent pattern, as in hakobu or asobu. However, this assumption is wrong. Despite having a very similar structure and conjugating the same way as erabu, these two words, to carry and to play, are actually pronounced with the hebang or accentless pattern, as in hakobu and asobu. And this can actually be quite difficult for native English speakers to initially pick up on or reproduce because, again, we're so used to saying words with accents. We really want to say hakobu and asobu. So if someone just tells us, oh, don't say hakobu, but hakobu, or, oh, just say those words flat, then oftentimes that isn't enough to sort of get the gears turning. There's a trick, however, that can help a lot with this. So try saying an English word beforehand with this accentless pattern. So earlier we saw the English words banana and computer. Now try saying these without accents, as in banana, computer, banana, computer. Now that you're used to saying that, try saying the Japanese words again. So again, banana, hakobu, computer, asobu. So hopefully now you can start to hear the difference between hakobu and hakobu, as well as asobu and asobu. And here's a simple rule that you can remember today to improve your Japanese pronunciation. Verbs that end with bu are typically in this accentless pattern family. And erabu, as well as sakebu, to scream, and yorokobu, to sort of be filled with joy, to become happy at something. These three words are actually the common exceptions to this rule. Other common bu verbs, such as yobu, to call, tobu, to fly, hakobu, as we've seen today, to carry, asobu, to play, as we also saw today. But then on top of that, manabu, to learn, narabu, to line up, ukabu, to float, and musubu, to tie together. These are all part of this accentless family. There are many other rules like this that you can learn to immediately know the pitch accent, the accent pattern of sometimes up to hundreds of words, all by memorizing just one simple rule. And I teach many of these rules in my Patreon course linked below. But if you don't want to dive headfirst into pitch accent studies just yet, then start with this bu rule today. It's a great place to start. Try and remember that other than erabu, sakebu, and yorokobu. Verbs that end with bu are typically going to be accentless. And also try and become conscious of the fact that you may be unconsciously trying to map the accent patterns of words that you can pick up on onto words that have different accent patterns entirely. Just this knowledge by itself will make a big difference in how you perceive and thus speak Japanese. I'll also link some free resources below that you can use to quickly and easily look up the pitch accent pattern for any Japanese word. Okay, hope this video was useful. Good luck with your Japanese studies and talk to all you guys again soon. Sayonara.